Ladies and gentlemen, the governor of our great state, Jack Markell.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So first of all, to the Freeman family and friends, thank you for being here today, and thank you for allowing us to honor Ted Freeman. As Lonnie said, what an incredible legacy this building is, and more important than the building, what an incredible legacy these folks are who will be going through this program in years to come. So thank you all very much. To Ileana, thanks for your great leadership here. You have been a tremendous leader at this campus for a very long time, and we're grateful to all that you have done. And to Lonnie, you all just heard a quintessential Lonnie George set of remarks, because he spent all of his time thanking other people and acknowledging the work that everybody else does. His team, the board, community members, the legislators and the congressional delegation, everybody. He never spends any time talking about himself. And we will have an opportunity in coming months as Lonnie prepares to step down from Delaware Tech to honor his absolutely tremendous contributions here over a very long period of time. But Lonnie, this is the first time that we've been together since your announcement. And I have every confidence that everybody who is in this hangar right now would like to join me in expressing to you our appreciation for the fantastic work you've done. This announcement today is so exciting on a number of levels. And you've already heard about some of them, about what happens when we collaborate together between different levels of government. In this case, it was pretty much every level of government that affects Delaware. When we work with this wonderful community college, with the business community, and others. And in this particular case, this fabulous investment is a direct response to what we have been hearing from this wonderful aviation industry in Delaware now for a few years. And as Lonnie said, maybe the people in this room do know, but there are plenty of Delawareans who don't know about what kind of aviation industry we have. Right here, Pat's Aircraft, a fabulous employer who I'll be talking about again in a few minutes. But in other parts of the state, Dassault Falcon, Hawker Beechcraft, Summit Aviation, Greenwich Aero Capital, employing hundreds and hundreds of Delawareans in really good jobs. And as I had the opportunity a few weeks ago to mention in my State of the State speech, one that was very focused, as everybody wants it to be, on job creation, the first chunk of that was around workforce development. And this idea of listening to our employers and understanding the kinds of skills that they're looking for in the marketplace today and the kinds of skills that they anticipate needing in the future is what it's all about. And I think this particular announcement in this building, this partnership between the industry and our fabulous award-winning Delaware Tech is Exhibit A of the way that government is supposed to work. We're supposed to listen to businesses. They tell us the kinds of skills they're looking for. They tell us what kinds of credentials our people need to demonstrate that they've got those skills. And we work with them closely to design the curriculum, to recruit the folks, to build the buildings, to make sure we've got the equipment for them to train on. And that's what this is all about. And I think you couldn't find a better example of how it's supposed to work. Now, one of the things I love, again, and this really is to Lonnie's credit and his contributions over the years, this is one announcement. This is not the only one. In recent years, Delaware Tech has done similar things around manufacturing, and Mark Brainerd was just telling me this morning, they've already got 15 high school students to participate in a new manufacturing-oriented partnership. There's one around energy efficiency. I got a tour of their energy efficiency building and met the young people who are being retrained there. Around dentistry, you all know you can't go to a hospital in this state without being touched by somebody, literally touched by somebody, who has gone to Delaware Tech. But it's this constant listening to local businesses to hear what they need and figuring out how we can collectively invest in our people that we're going to make the progress. And so I congratulate everybody who's associated with this. But I have to say as well, I was speaking earlier to John Martin of Pat's about what this means to that local, really important employer, an employer here in Sussex County with more than 300 employees. And we know that when you're talking about jobs in Sussex County, and one of the things I know every member of the General Assembly who's here, I'm sure one of the things that you hear from your constituents more than anything else is everybody wants there to be opportunities for our young people to grow up here in Sussex County. If they want to go for additional education, maybe they go out of state, maybe they stay here, maybe they go to Delaware Tech. But what we all want is we want opportunities for them to come back home, not literally home, but near home, and build a career and build a life here. Isn't that what we all want? And that depends upon having good jobs. And so in the case of Pat's, which is a terrific employer, as I mentioned, more than 300 employees right here in Georgetown. John said one of the key things and why this is so great for them is because they're always looking for skilled people. These jobs require a very high level of skill. But he pointed out, he has an opportunity to add more than an additional 100 people if we can land if we can land bigger airplanes at this airport. If we extend the runway, which means having to move Park Avenue, we could put more people to work here. 757s could land here. They would build a bigger hangar and put between 100 and 150 additional people to work. And so it's one thing and unbelievably important for us to invest in the human capital. And I think it was great that Lonnie asked some of the students and graduates to stand up and to be recognized. But we want more. We want more of you. And we have an opportunity for there to be 100 more or 150 more if we extend this runway an additional 500 feet and build another hangar and put all those people to work. But that means we also have to invest in infrastructure. So we're going to invest in the human capital, but we want all those people to have places to work, and we want them to have more planes to work on. But we can only have bigger planes to work on if we have a longer runway. So I've proposed over the last few weeks, as some of you have seen, to an additional investment in transportation infrastructure in the state of Delaware. Safer roads, safer bridges, better paving, and an extension of this runway. But the thing is, we can't do that for free. And as nice as it would be for there to be a free lunch, where we just make the investment, but we don't have to pay for it, or we expect the next generation to pay for it, that's not how it works. So I'm asking, and when I was speaking to John and talking about this, he said how unbelievably helpful an additional 500 feet would be. And he literally said 500 feet more means 100 more employees, or 150 more employees. That's what we're talking about. So I'm hoping, and I know that my proposal doesn't always, it's not like people are really excited about having to spend more for gasoline. But in the end, these investments are going to be made. They have to be made. But the question is whether we're going to make them now or we're going to wait a decade or two and we see companies deciding to go elsewhere. Because the point is, companies like Pat's have choices. There are airports all over the country that would like to see those jobs. There are businesses all over the country who would like to be in, they want to be where the investment in infrastructure is world class. So what we have proven here today is we understand the value of investing in the human capital. The transportation network, the longer runway without the human capital doesn't do any good. But the human capital without the infrastructure to support the bigger planes, that's a squandered opportunity. And so what I'm asking all of you, let's look at the big picture here. Let's take the long road. And let's recognize that by investing in the human capital in the outstanding way that Delaware Tech does, when we combine that with the world-class infrastructure, we're just going to see more and more jobs, which is exactly what Democrats and Republicans alike want to see. Thank you so much for having me today. To Lonnie, to Ileana, to the entire Delaware Tech team. You have something to be very, very proud of here. I really do believe that people all over the country are going to be looking at this building and what this building represents for all the new employees that will be hired in the Delaware aviation industry. This is a model, and congratulations for pulling it off.